Welcome back to World Information HD, the place where history, rarity, and hidden treasures of the coin world come to life. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating pieces of American coinage, a coin that is often overshadowed by its more famous era counterparts, yet it holds a captivating story all its own. We're talking about the 1955 Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny. A small copper coin that carries with it decades of history, collector's passion, and the potential for extraordinary value in today's market. To truly understand why this penny is so important, we have to take a step back into its origins. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it became the very first circulating coin in the United States to feature the portrait of a real person. From that moment on, the Lincoln penny would become one of the most widely collected and beloved coins in American history. Over the years, small design changes were made, but one of the most recognizable eras is the Wheat Reverse series, which ran from 1909 until 1958. Now, when we focus on 1955, it was a year of transition and growth in America. The post-war era was in full swing, the economy was booming, and millions of Americans were carrying these small copper cents in their pockets every day. But for coin collectors and historians, 1955 became memorable for a very different reason. It was the year of one of the most famous era coins of all time, the 1955 double-die penny. That coin often steals the spotlight, but tucked away in the shadows is another issue, one that deserves just as much attention: the 1955 wheat penny minted in Denver. The Denver Mint, one of the busiest facilities in the country at the time, was responsible for striking billions of coins, including the Lincoln wheat cents. The D mint mark just below the date on the obverse side tells us where it was produced. On the front of the coin, of course, is the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse displays the familiar wheat ears, framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, with the motto E pluribus unum above. At first glance, the 1955 wheat penny might look like just another common cent from the 1950s. And in truth, many of them are ordinary, worn pieces that might only fetch a small premium above face value. But the real story here is in the condition, the rarity of high-grade examples, and the small varieties that make collectors' hearts race. Let's start with condition. Coins, as you know, are graded on a scale from poor to mint state. The higher the grade, the more pristine the coin appears, with sharper details and original luster. For wheat pennies like the 1955 most circulated heavily. Think about it, back then, a penny could actually buy something meaningful. It wasn't left in jars or collections right away, it was used for candy, newspapers, and even bus fare. As a result, finding a coin from this year in perfect condition is incredibly rare. When a coin has survived the decades without scratches, wear, or discoloration, it becomes a true prize for collectors. Mint state coins, especially those graded MS65 and higher, are where the values begin to climb into astonishing territory. And this is precisely what makes the 1955 so interesting. In addition to condition, there are also small varieties and errors that make this coin unique. While not as famous as the Philadelphia double die, the Denver issues still have quirks of their own. Some coins may show repunched mint marks, where the D was stamped more than once during the minting process. Others may display minor die cracks, die chips, or slight variations in the strike. To an untrained eye, these might look insignificant, but to numismatists, those who study coins, these details are what transform an ordinary penny into a collectible piece of history. Collectors often search through rolls of wheat pennies, hoping to uncover one of these gems. It's the thrill of the hunt, the idea that a simple coin sitting in your change jar could actually be worth far more than 1 cent. And for the 1955 that thrill is very real. High-grade examples and those with rare varieties can demand remarkable prices in auctions. Let's also talk about the sheer mintage numbers. In 1955, the Denver Mint struck over 563 million pennies. At first, that sounds like an enormous number, and it is. But here's the catch: most of those coins have long since disappeared into circulation, been damaged, lost, or melted down. The number of coins that survive today in top condition is only a tiny fraction of the original mintage. That scarcity is what drives the desirability and, ultimately, the value. Collectors across the world covet wheat pennies, and the 1955D is no exception. Its place in history, its connection to one of the most famous era coins ever made, and its scarcity in pristine grades make it a centerpiece for many serious collections. Auction houses often report intense bidding wars when a high-grade example surfaces. Prices can soar as collectors compete to own a piece of American numismatic heritage. But why does a small penny carry such significance? The answer lies not only in its rarity but in what it represents. The Lincoln wheat cent is more than just currency. It's a symbol of American identity, resilience, and history. For many, it brings back memories of childhood, when finding an old wheat penny in pocket change felt like striking gold. For others, it's about preserving the artistry of an era when coins were struck with care and detail. And for serious investors, it's about owning an asset that only becomes rarer with time. Imagine holding a 1955D wheat penny in mint condition. You'd see the deep, rich copper tones, the sharp detail in Lincoln's profile, and the crisp wheat stalks on the reverse. It feels timeless, like holding a small piece of 1950s America in the palm of your hand. Each mark and strike tells a story, and each surviving coin is a survivor of decades of circulation and history. Now, let's bring all of this back to the modern market. The popularity of coin collecting has exploded in recent years, fueled by online marketplaces, grading services, and a renewed appreciation for tangible history. Rare coins are not just collectibles anymore, they're investments. They provide both sentimental and financial value, making them treasures that can be passed down through generations. The 1955D wheat penny may not always command the spotlight like its double-die cousin, but for those who know its story, it is a true hidden gem. Collectors actively seek it out, and when found in top grades, the rewards can be breathtaking. It's the kind of coin that reminds us why coin collecting is so captivating. It's about discovery, rarity, and the beauty of history preserved in metal. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just beginning your journey into the fascinating world of numismatics, the 1955D Lincoln cent deserves your attention. Take a closer look at the pennies in your collection. Examine them under good light. You never know when you might uncover something extraordinary, and here's the moment you've been waiting for. While most examples of the 1955D wheat penny might only be worth a few dollars in average condition, the finest, most pristine examples have crossed the auction block for jaw-dropping figures. The highest known price ever paid for one of these exceptional coins reached an astonishing $45,999.